Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, or should I say Frozen Steve. Do you know what the temperature is outside right now? I don't know if my hat cam picks this up. Check it out, it's minus 14 degrees Celsius. In Fahrenheit, that's freezing cold. Why am I out here freezing my rear end off? Well, let me tell you, I'm out here because I'm testing out some gloves. These are battery operated gloves that I can't figure out how to get on my hand because my hand is frozen. Hang on a sec, let me get this on. So I'm gonna walk, I'm on snowshoes because the snow is kind of soft and I can sink into it. So let me bring this drone around so you can see me and I'll tell you what I'm doing. Why are you back there? Okay, I got the drone in front of me, so it should go backwards as I'm walking through this snow here. Or it's going to go to the side. You're going to go to the side, aren't you? Even though I told you to go from the front. So in short, it's really freezing cold out here. And all I have filming me at the moment as I'm walking through this field is the Insta360 on my head and the DJI Mini 4 Pro, which is circling me here to capture all the views. So I'm going to keep this video short. I'm here to review these electric gloves. I have two sets of electric gloves and I'm going to review two sets. So this is set A. These electric gloves are very thin. They are designed to allow you to move the joysticks on your remote. So with these gloves being so thin, you would think they're not warm. However, there's a battery in them and a button here I can control the temperature. I've been using these for a long time. And by long time, I mean since Christmas, because they were a Christmas gift. And I'm going to tell you the following. They're pretty darn good. So these gloves are powered by a lithium-ion battery that comes with the gloves. They go in the wrist section. You just connect the battery, zipper them in, and everything is good. To charge them up, though, they do take a while to charge up. And when I say it takes a while to charge up, I mean like 4 hours. And if you charge them up for 4 hours, you can get 2 hours of full temperature, high temperature. You have 3 temperature settings, so if you put it on the highest one, you can get 2 hours worth after charging for 4 hours. Now these Gloves A, as I'm going to keep calling them, they're pretty darn good, but I will say they're starting to show wear in less than a month's time. You can see the edges. I don't know if any of my cameras pick it up. They're a little frayed on the edges. Yeah, that's from use, but they're still good. They're still solid. And let me tell you the following. These gloves at minus 6 degrees Celsius are perfect. They're perfectly warm. Today, where it's Arctic temperatures, for a guy like me, they're still warm. They're pretty darn decent, but they're not like super heated warm. They're warm enough that your fingers don't freeze. But I will say, if you need warm gloves, you have to put these little mini gloves, you know, the kind you buy at a discount store for like 50 cents each. You put this on your hand, then you put these over top. I don't have them on now. And then your hands are super warm for temperatures like it is right now. Okay, so let's head back and let me tell you the negatives about Gloves A before we get on the Gloves B. First negative is the edges are fraying on the gloves. That's the negative. Negative number 2, no capacitive touch. So if you're using your cell phone or using something like the DJI controller with the touch screen, it doesn't matter. You can touch all you want, nothing's going to happen. So that means you probably have to take your gloves off and freeze your hand in that case. Now on to the positives. They fit snugly. They have an awesome fit. Positive number 2, the batteries that go in them, super easy to charge, and they fit inside the gloves like butter. Little zipper, unzip it, put the battery in, zip it back up. Positive number 3, the way the battery is situated on the side of the wrist, right back here. I don't know if you can see it in my camera on my head. Awesome. It does not impact with the movements of the wrist, so you can be manipulating things and you don't even notice you have battery powered gloves on, like the battery does not make itself known. Okay, what I'm gonna do now, as the sun seems to be going out and it's getting even colder, I'm gonna go grab Gloves B, and you'll see that Gloves B are a little different than Gloves A. That is, if I don't fall down with this wind blowing and the snow blasting everywhere. So these would be electric Gloves B. I'm gonna put them on, power them on, keep my hands warm because they're freezing right now. We'll go for a quick walk and I'll tell you the positives and negatives about Gloves B. I am freezing, my mouth is freezing. Here we go. So you put the glove on and then you just strap over the Velcro and they hold in position. You definitely want to make sure when you order electric gloves that you get the size correct, especially these thin ones, because if you have wide hands, you won't even get your hand in. First advantage of Gloves B is their capacitive touch. So I'm going to get this drone to follow me just by touching my screen. Unfortunately, the sun is going out and it's getting colder. It's definitely not warm right now, but I'm going to tell you the positives and negatives with Gloves B. All right, we're trying Gloves B and they're a little bit different than Gloves A. Let me tell you the positives and negatives. So first off, the great thing about them is they're a very, very tight fit. Second thing, they got little grippies on the bottom so you can grip things, like little rubbery texture on it. It's very good for gripping. Third, as already mentioned, touch capacitive. So if you're using your phone or you're using some sort of tablet or a remote with a touch screen, beautiful. Don't have to take them off in the winter. They also have 3 power levels. You just press the button here and it shows you different colors for the power levels. They're pretty good. They have the same negative issue as the other gloves in that it takes about 4 hours or longer to charge them, and you only get 2 hours of run time on full heat. As for warmth, they're identical to Gloves A. As long as your fingers are moving, they'll never get cold. So they work quite well for me. Now, the only negative on these ones is that the battery is rectangular, well, kind of squarish rectangular in shape. It fits in on the bottom of your wrist right here, and you do feel it. I'm used to it now, but when I first put these gloves on, it's very weird. It's like there's something on the bottom of your wrist and you're hitting it. So you might not find these gloves as comfortable as the first ones I was using. Now, the reason I have 2 pairs of Gloves A and Gloves B is because my wife bought me a pair and my oldest son bought me a pair, so that's why I have 2. But they're working out perfect for me because if I use one set for like 2 hours, well, the battery's pretty much toast after that. I just put on the second set and I keep on doing my filming. Now, in the past, I have asked other people about electric gloves, what they thought. Those people who use them to go to work and take a bus and stand at a bus stop and not move, they don't find they're very warm. So if you're not moving your fingers or your hands, then I guess the electric gloves aren't going to do a lot for you. But if you're generating heat just by being in the RC hobby or doing anything outdoorsy with your fingers and your hands, then the electric gloves just adds to that, and it feels really nice. All right, so if I have any last thoughts on these gloves, something I forgot to tell you, well, we'll go to that right now. So let's go indoors and I'll give you any final thoughts there might be. All right, let's take this Mini home.
And now I'll summarize everything I said about Gloves A and Gloves B. Both gloves are constructed of a similar polyester fiber. Gloves A tighten to your wrist using a bungee strap, and Gloves B tighten to your wrist using Velcro. Both Gloves A and Gloves B fit tightly to your hand. The fabric on the palm portion of Gloves A is very soft. The fabric on the palm portion of Gloves B is very grippy. Gloves A do not have capacitive touch. Gloves B do indeed have capacitive touch on 2 fingers. Gloves A places the battery on the side of the wrist. When you move your hand, you do not notice the battery. Gloves B places the battery at the base of the wrist. When you move your hand, you do notice the battery. Gloves A uses a side zipper to access the battery. Gloves B uses an internal Velcro pocket to access the battery. Gloves A are using a 1-cell 3350 mAh lithium-ion battery, and Gloves B are using a 2-cell 2200 mAh LiPo battery. Gloves A batteries are charged via USB. Simply plug in the Y connectors, look at the light on the charger, and when it turns from red to blue, the batteries are charged. Gloves B are also charged via USB. Simply plug in the 2 batteries with the included cable, look at the charger, and when the light changes from red to green, the batteries are charged. Gloves A have 3 heat settings from high to medium to low. If you leave it on high, you only have 2 hours of runtime, but if you leave it on low, you'll get 6 hours of usage. Gloves B also have 3 heat selections, high, medium, and low. If you leave it on high, you get 2 hours of usage, and if you leave it on low, you get 6 hours of usage. Now, to find your own electric heated gloves, simply go on Amazon and type in electric heated thin gloves. You should get plenty of results, and here I'm showing some of the results in US dollars. If you would like to buy Gloves B that I showed in this review, they are on Amazon and they're about $100 after the discount. Just click on the link below this video and it will take you right to them. However, if you really liked Gloves A, well then I have a link below this video that will take you right to the website that sells Gloves A. So no matter which pair of heated gloves you buy, just ensure they are thin. So look for thin gloves so that you can have dexterity when touching your RC hobby products. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you in a future video with many more reviews. Until then, I say bye!